That feeling where you're not sure if you're awake or still dreaming.
Robert, I wonder if perhaps you would be good enough to take a gas jeep and bring back my grandchildren.
It's impossible.
Tony Stark was able to build this in a cave with a box of scraps.
Hope you have a big trunk, because I'm putting my bike in it.
You had me at hello.
I know Kung Fu.
You were the chosen one! It was said that you would destroy the Sith, not join them!
He picked me, Mommy.
I'm sorry, Wilson. Wilson, I'm sorry.
Everybody just pretend to be normal, okay? Like everything's normal here.
Have you checked the children?
Who should we nuke first?
Let's see. How about Las Vegas?
Las Vegas. Great.
It's 106 miles to Chicago. We got a full tank of gas, half a pack of cigarettes. It's dark, and we're wearing sunglasses. Hit it.
From Milwaukee, it's Movie Chatter.
Welcome to Movie Chatter Podcast, episode 204.
All right.
I'm Dave.
I'm Don.
I'm Bill.
And I'm Kelly.
Hey, Kelly.
What up?
She gets a little break from
This
her
is it.
hectic life
This
over
is
there
it.
with her 5-week-old baby.
Yes. She's a gem. You guys all got to see her last night. She's
yeah.
the life of the party.
Oh, my
She is.
God, is she darling.
She is definitely.
She's a night owl.
I know. I mean, obviously I'm biased, but she's a cute baby.
She's cute.
Oh, yeah, she's
You're-
really cute.
3 for 3, I would say.
Right?
Right? Holy shit.
She's knocking
We're
it out of
done,
the park.
I give her a thumbs up.
You're all done now.
highly,
Like,
highly
3
recommend.
through 3, we'll take it.
Yeah, right?
Two cute
push
girls.
your luck.
Two cute girls are going to be expensive.
Yes.
Oh, boy.
Right? And trouble.
Maggie was just
I think
messing with
both.
Dan.
I
Like,
think they're going to be expensive.
she's already
and-
smiling and like doing her
really?
thing. Dan was like, "Am I going to have 3 girls in the house with big personalities?" I'm like, yes, you already do.
No question.
Oh,
Yep.
yeah.
Like, you're hopeless.
Oh, yeah.
That's fantastic. So what are we talking about today, guys?
I
and
can't
gal?
wait. I have notes and everything.
Look at you, and I am completely unprepared.
The tables have turned.
Hey, I'm going to be just nodding and adding color.
You can,
What did you
can
think?
laugh.
You are colorful today. I like
Don,
the shirt.
what did you think of the new The Batman?
Trailer.
Oh,
Oh, man.
okay.
I thought it was fantastic. We just watched it with Bill before the show started.
I mean, listen to this music. The music of the trailer.
Oh, my God, that music is excellent.
Goose pimples. Kelly did not see it yet, did you?
No,
We'll give you some
I
excitement.
saw it come out.
It is
Yeah.
dark
Right.
and powerful, and
Yeah.
he's got an attitude.
Yeah.
He is pissed. If you're a bad guy, he wants to kill you.
He's going to fuck you up.
Fuck
Yeah.
you up.
He's got a lot of issues, and he's working them out one
Yes.
villain at a time.
Yes.
It looks like all of his fights are like he is punching, like, I don't know, some demons
And-
in his past, you know, as he like
More like a superhero than a person in a suit, maybe.
Well,
Yeah.
I don't know. Everything is still, I mean, it's a bulletproof thing, so they shoot him, and, you know, it's bulletproof, and he, like, grabs somebody and then electrocutes them, so, I mean,
Oh yeah,
that's,
look like
that's
he's got
possible.
like
Okay.
looks like he's got what are those things called where you
Taser.
Tasers?
like a taser right in his hand.
Ah.
The
He
thing
grabs you
about
by
it,
the neck and
The Dark Knight was very dark. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, that was the first kind of ultra dark movie.
Right.
This
It's more true to the original comics.
no,
really.
I mean, this
this
seems really dark.
But I mean, like,
So-
the darkness is.
It is.
You know, they Hollywoodized it for Michael Keaton a
Yeah,
little bit.
they
They
did.
lightened it up.
Right, and I think of all of them, this even goes more realistic, more gritty. I mean, they are just leaning in hard into dirty,
Because it worked.
dark,
Why not?
rainy. It's every
lean
scene's
into
of rain.
what works.
Zoe Kravitz looks fantastic and beautiful in there.
Was that the Penguin?
Yeah, that's Colin Farrell as the Penguin
Oh my
in a
God.
giant fat suit.
Oswald
Or-
Cobblepot.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
I saw that
official
coming
name.
a while back, and I was very intrigued by that role for him. I think it's going to be awesome.
I like it because he doesn't look like a penguin. You know, it's not cartoonish.
Mhm.
But
do you know who?
I'm sure he'll walk weird like a penguin, maybe.
Paul Dano is.
Got it. That's
I have a little
familiar.
picture of him. You can't see. He's the Riddler.
Okay. Yes.
So they show that.
They show a coffee cup, and the top of the cream looks like a question mark.
Right. That was
Right.
cool.
Paul Dano's been in stuff that you know. There Will Be Blood, Little Miss Sunshine.
Ah.
That's
So I mean, you have the penguin.
That's the guy.
Yeah. Yep.
Speaking of that, on your intro, you had a Little Miss Sunshine.
Yeah, Little Miss
quote?
Sun. Yep.
That's good.
I love that movie.
I cannot name all the different movies in that intro though. I'd have
Close to it.
Yeah, can you?
Oh yeah.
Jeffrey Wright as Gordon. That's going to be fantastic.
Yep.
Andy Serkis.
Zoe
Gosh,
Kravitz.
as Alfred.
Catwoman.
I loved Gary Oldman though. That's a tough one
Oh,
to
that
compare
is.
to. You know what
That
I
is
mean?
true.
When you look at like comparative casting.
I'd say he's equal as
Sure,
an actor at least. But yeah. Gary Oldman was fantastic.
He always
Right.
is.
The Rogues Gallery of
I'm
Villains.
definitely gonna look forward to seeing that.
Yeah, March.
The Batman. It's called The Batman.
There you go.
Matt Reeves, the director.
Yeah, what's
What's he done?
Cloverfield.
Ah.
All the good recent Planet of the Apes movies.
Oh wow.
So
Oh wow.
he's good. He's good.
All right. Well,
Yeah, it absolutely
Is that
was
coming out
waiting.
soon,
It came
or-
on your birthday. The,
is that
the
going to be
trailer
pushed
did.
back because of COVID? Or?
I don't know. I
It
don't
says March 2nd or 3rd.
I was going to
and
say they're wrapped now. I'm
okay.
assuming everything's post production.
in theaters only.
Okay. Until the next apocalyptic COVID comes along.
Right.
I suppose.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
So they're not. It's not going to be pre-released anywhere streaming.
That's what they're saying.
Okay.
That's what I mean. That's what the
There's been a number
the
of films that
poster
are going
says.
that way.
Right. They're doing that more. I mean,
It's a fair play.
all the new Marvel, all the Disney stuff is in theaters only.
Is it
For the-
truly in theaters only now after that lawsuit?
A lot of stuff is actually just in
Yeah.
theaters. It makes me upset.
Yeah.
I wanna-
yeah.
I wanna buy 'em.
I know. We're getting so used to it. You just spent a fortune on your theater downstairs, and now
Yeah.
you got to wait.
I don't know. The consumer market is going to
Right. The movie that I watched
determine where this goes.
for last week, The Night House, I rented that movie for $15. Now
Rented for $15.
Now you can buy it this
Wow, look
week
at
for
you.
$15.
Oh boy.
I paid $19.95 for The Wrath of Man just to rent it
Yeah.
because I figured you go to a theater, they're
If it's a
charging
movie
you
you really want to see,
$12.
Right.
it's still
Yeah,
worth it.
I'm a big
yeah.
Jason Statham fan.
Don,
Movie
unfortunately,
wasn't as good as I had hoped though.
But you could still feel that way had you gone to the theater.
True.
So it's still worth the investment.
Tell them about my waste of money.
Yeah, Don.
Oh boy.
Oh, what'd you do?
It wasn't
Don,
bad.
it is a waste. I'm going to scold.
disappointed
I
in
want
you.
to scold him in front of everybody. That
All right.
I don't even know what we're talking
he
about yet, but I like it.
It's not that.
he bought the Free Guy.
I bought Free Guy on Apple.
Oh.
instead
Okay.
of just buying the physical
the hard
disc,
copy.
then you could have a 4K disc, a
Well-
Blu-ray, and you could have the digital copy. And
Oh, when
It
you
goes
buy the
across
hard
all platforms, though.
I think it would if you don't you. If you
It does. If you have a hard copy, it works the same way. But like
It
if you
does.
buy something on Apple Plus and then you have to pay for it on Hulu, you can automatically watch it for free on Hulu because you bought it on Apple.
Yeah.
They share your
Right. I mean,
I didn't know that.
Yeah, we've noticed that too. Somewhere. So if you buy it anywhere, it's then free on the other platforms where it is available to rent. It's like
well, that's interesting.
Yeah, as long as your profiles are linked and sharing information.
And the other thing is,
Oh, so you have to link your profile.
I mean,
I've
as
got
long
Apple
as it's like
TV on
the
everything.
same email or whatever that you're logged into,
Okay.
it'll share it across.
Well,
yeah.
that's good information.
Oh, I
Yeah.
like that.
But I
intel.
did it because I buy I just buy movies on Apple. I've got a little library, and it's on my iPad and my phone and all my TVs at home, and it's $7 less.
So if you want to go up,
$19
if
instead
you
of
go
$28.
upstairs and want to watch it in your little room up there, how do you do that?
Off of my Apple TV,
okay.
the box.
You just go to your
off
library.
off
Yeah.
your phone.
I've got.
So that's
no,
like a
right off-
digital shelf of DVDs. I
yeah,
mean,
right. I mean,
you
I
have
could
your
either
movies there.
No, you've seen the little Apple cubes, the little
Oh, okay.
a streaming
It's your
service.
console.
Yeah, like a Roku plug-in or
Okay, gotcha. Gotcha.
Apple TV,
Mm-hmm.
4K. It's a 4K, thing. Some of mine are. They're not all the 4K ones, but yeah. So that's how I do it. And you can also on most smart TVs, there's an Apple TV. Just like there's a Hulu or a Netflix, there's an Apple TV, and if you log into that, now you've got that on your streaming service too. You don't even need the little Apple box.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you can watch cool shows like, Ted Lasso and the Foundation.
I think
all
you'll
those.
continue to see some product offerings of apps that consolidate your logins so that you can start to view what you own and what's available out there. I think we'll see that more because that's the
Makes
biggest pain
sense.
point right now because
Yeah.
it's like, wait, where am I? I got to switch programs. I got to
Yeah.
go to this other login, and that pain point it creates an opportunity.
I wish
Yeah,
there was
it does.
another service
it
that
helps.
sorted out all your streaming services
That's
and
exactly
kind of
what I'm talking
That's
about.
what she's saying, yeah.
and put them all onto one.
Mm-hmm.
There is some of that already available, but like I said, I think that's going to be the biggest next thing. It'll be like, oh, here, have a login to this. Put in all of your logins. We'll sort everything for you. This
Yeah.
is what you own. It'll be a joint algorithm that sorts all of your shit by, genre.
If you think ahead 5-10 years, that's
an obvious.
I can see that's
Yeah.
got to happen.
Yeah.
Right? Because that's just the way we're going more and more.
Wouldn't that be just kind of like what Spectrum or what your cable
Yeah,
service
that's what I was gonna
basically
say.
is doing?
Really has come full circle.
I know.
We broke it apart. We wanted the a la carte style. I don't want to pay $80 a month to the cable company. Heaven's sakes. And now we're like, I'll pay $30 for one movie. That's fine.
Right?
Yeah.
It is funny.
And basically, I switched to YouTube TV. You're on Hulu TV. Some
Well, and you
people-
add up the price of all of those
It's about
streaming
the same.
services.
Oh.
Yeah,
Oh,
we're
it's-
right back to
it's
where we
actually
started.
probably more.
Oh, for sure.
They're
But
gonna
you
get
only
their money.
see each charge one at a time. So it's like, well, I'm only paying $6.99 for that and $14 for that. But
And most people don't do the painful math of adding it
Well,
up.
there's
'cause I don't want to
already-
know if I added it all up.
I
It'd probably
keep
be like,
seeing
oh, God,
an
no,
ad for an app,
$200.
and I'll forget the name of it now, but it's strictly like billing. But you kind of put in all of your information, and it manages all of your subscriptions.
Oh,
so
okay. Really?
so that you can tell if you're signed up for something that you meant to cancel, and it'll
Oh,
alert
yes.
you, and so it's like at least from a billing perspective, doing that same thing,
Yeah,
organizing
I actually
and
have heard of that.
yeah.
I keep on turning Kelly down.
Sorry.
Donna's just no.
Oh, am I?
Don is screaming
Am
into
I?
the mic. Yeah.
That's
see, it
because I
sound
scooched
normal to
back.
me.
Oh,
It's
look
my
at that.
positioning, I think.
Could
I'm all
be.
over
Oh,
it.
that's worth screaming about.
Oh, look at that.
Touchdown.
Fancy.
Touchdown.
All right, we
Okay.
We have to confess, we have the Packer
We have the game on.
game on.
Why didn't they put the
In the
touchdown?
room.
We have to. It's the Bears.
Okay,
He
Don.
might have stepped out. He might have stepped.
I want to
out of-
know what you guys
No
been
way.
watching
What?
this week.
All right.
Oh, he did.
What have we been watching?
What have been watching? I watched Ted Lasso.
I don't care.
Oh.
All right. So
Ted
no,
Lasso. Start with Ted.
we're not there.
Okay,
Oh,
Dave's talking.
Actually, yeah.
What do you
well,
want? I can talk about what I've
Bill.
been watching. Go ahead.
All right.
What do you got?
Go ahead, Dave. Sorry.
No. Yeah. Just Don. Oh, hold on a second. Okay. Let's just keep going. Keep going. But
Okay.
yeah, I'm just trying to get your attention.
Okay.
So, tell us about Ted Lasso. The season finale. What
it was
did you
the
think?
finale.
What did you think?
It was the best show on TV. Still is. It's a great finale.
I agree.
I hate Nate.
I know.
Hate Nate.
Gosh,
He's almost worse than Joffrey.
that went downhill fast.
Did you ever make that meme you were talking about, Dave?
No, I didn't.
Dave was going to make a meme of Joffrey from Game of Thrones and Nate. That's kind of a spoiler, but he's
said
a villain.
I mean,
Who
the
do you
train
wanna
was on the
slap more?
tracks. You saw him his character kind of disintegrating, and gosh, he's just done some awful things, and then it just he went full force.
Yeah, but because last season he was more like in
He
the
was-
background. He just wanted
yeah.
to be a support person.
He was this
Right.
lovable.
They were kind of like encouraging him to speak up,
Yeah.
and you've
I
got some
mean,
great ideas.
Well, and that's the thing. I mean, his insecurities have manifested.
Oh, right.
Quite. I mean, they're ugly. Obviously,
He's
he's
had
not
the-
dealing with them
The episodes
appropriately.
where he was dealing with his father, just never getting any
There's some
credit or
deep-seated
Yeah.
self-esteem issues there.
Very much so. Yeah, he's got awful father.
So yeah, he thinks he's so good with the X's and the O's, and whatever they had that special 9-man front or something that they did.
Yeah, right.
Fake 9, false 9 or whatever.
False 9. And yet Ted Lasso gets all the attention for the win.
But you notice every single time he mentions it, he says Nate's false 9.
Oh, yeah.
That was on purpose.
Oh, yeah.
But I mean,
Ted's great.
Yeah, he's fantastic. And the fact that you could say, you're not, you don't even notice me anymore. Like, clearly there is a giant chip on this man's shoulder.
Right. And that's going to come back in the 3rd season.
Oh,
yeah.
Projecting, his issues with his father onto
Oh, yeah.
Ted.
He is projecting. He is like puke projecting all over everyone around him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
you always have to have a protagonist in every show, right?
Yeah.
And so you got Rupert and now,
Nate.
And honestly, I think it's a smart choice to just kind of the writers and just like the unique crafting of the storylines to take a previously lovable character and have flipped him.
They did a great job with that. They did it slowly.
Yep.
But I think they're going to eventually flip him back. That would be, I think, really classic. Where in season 4, you will love Nate by season 4.
Oh my God!
I think that would be like Anakin, Darkseid, and it would be the rise and fall.
Sure.
It could be, even if it's something as little as like him, I don't know, and Ted having a moment where he'll
finally acknowledge,
says I appreciate you or something like that.
That's the thing about Ted Lasso. You
or
ask yourself,
how much of a dick
how
he's
does
been?
each show make you feel?
That would be
wonderful.
And it actually makes you feel something.
Yes,
each show,
it
right?
Does. Yeah, and it's not always the same either.
Sometimes sad, sometimes
redemptive. You normally feel every range of emotion.
Right. There's a lot there. And they've done a lot this season. I mean, for anybody who complained the first season was too light and too, they didn't dive deep enough into characters and all that stuff. I mean,
well, this one they had Dr. Sharon, the psychologist, sports psychologist.
I did not like it first. What about you guys?
I loved her. I loved her at the end.
The first, at the end. What about when she was first there?
Yeah, she kind of like bugged the shit out of you, right?
Yeah.
And you were like, oh.
Mm-hmm.
But that last episode with her in the bar, where he's kind of stiffed her. That was fantastic.
I loved that.
Absolutely.
That they like cracked each other's shells. It was it was very beautiful arcing on both of their character developments, kind of like overlapping, and it was an excellent season. Here's my struggle with Ted Lasso now. Trying to get people to watch it that have not watched it yet.
Okay.
There's too much hype, too much positivity. I'm like, I've got to reel it in because there's like too much pressure. I'm like, there's something wrong with you if you don't like Ted Lasso.
I know, you're just like looking at them after they've seen it. How'd you like it? Did you like it?
You like it, right? You like it.
Best show ever, right? Huh?
Yeah, no, that happened to me. You guys were all talking it up, and I watched, one
You're
show.
Like, it's not that great.
And I go, it's okay. But then I watched the Beard one. Awesome.
Yeah.
The funeral one. Awesome.
Right.
I thought the last one was actually not as good as the previous two.
The finale?
It sets a high bar. That's a challenge, right? It's a difficulty when you have like these sky high expectations.
Yeah.
And like a bar is set that,
for sure. We are not setting it any lower than the top of the rung.
Right. It's an A+ show. And
we're...
Yeah, but I like how they changed it. I mean, the first one was Ted Lasso. Aw, shucks, I'm from Kansas, and I don't know what I'm doing with soccer.
Or Texas.
Yes.
And this time, or Texas.
I think so.
And this time he's, dealing with anxiety about his father's issues and all that stuff. And they really kind of resolved that, but it was all working out Ted Lasso's anxiety, had the panic attacks, and Dr. Sharon, the psychologist. It was a lot of that working out, but each show was so different. It wasn't. I mean, they kept it going with about soccer.
Yeah.
And they.
But they diverted quite a bit. What did you think, Dave, about the drama of this season?
Got into some deep issues.
I thought it was just impressive. I was actually more impressed how each show seemed to be so different. Like, like the producers and directors and writers were like going, you think that last episode was good? Wait for this one.
Right.
Yeah,
like
I mean, just
one-upping each other.
The whole
Buckle
season,
up.
they could have just replicated what they did last season.
Yeah,
and
that's
had
a good
more
point. They
rah-rah
didn't-
stuff, and
they
they
certainly
went
are
different
not-
direction.
Resting
I
on
loved
their
it.
laurels.
I loved it. So we're going to go through Apple, HBO, Netflix, Amazon Prime, all of them. There was another show on. We love Ted Lasso.
All right.
I can't let you just keep on rambling, but I'll let you ramble for maybe 30 seconds about that other show that you love on Apple.
Which one?
Something about Steve Martin.
Oh, that's a Hulu
not
show.
Apple, that's
Okay,
Hulu.
we're
That's
not
a
even.
Hulu.
Well, was there any more?
I can give you an Apple thing.
Foundation.
I can too.
Foundation's
Yeah.
on Apple.
Foundation, which I did not see the last one, and I would say Foundation is, if I'm being honest, it's not as blowing my mind as I thought it would be.
Okay.
It's really great, and I think the writing is excellent and all of that, but it's a real, like, thinking, slow-moving kind of thing. There's not a massive amount of action. You know, I mean, it's all in space, and it's some pretty cool shit, and there's some monsters
is it
and
like-
spaceships, but...
they're starting to get a little bit more action in the later ones.
How is
Have you seen all of them?
Not all of them. Go ahead.
How is the dialogue? Is the dialogue like, if you weren't watching it, could you follow along? Is it visually
watching
You know what I mean? Like listening to it. Could I listen to the dialogue?
I think so. I think that would probably be good because it's some pretty heady dialogue. I mean, they get into some, pretty. It's not fluffy at all. I mean, there's some philosophical.
Are you
stuff.
confused all the time? Like,
I wouldn't say
Are you
confused.
confused all the time? And your reaction is,
maybe.
Not any more than generally.
Okay.
I think it takes a
than
couple.
usual.
Yeah, it takes a couple, but after like the third one, you're starting to get the idea of it.
Yeah.
There's these 3 cloned leaders. So like the king of the universe, right? They're called the Empire.
Okay.
The Dawn is the little baby and so forth. Dusk. Anyway, all right, you're telling me to go quicker.
Well,
I can't go
I mean, I don't
can't
want
talk any faster. Sorry.
No, I just didn't want
I'll
an
just stop.
explanation about that. No,
it's. What do you say, Bill? Would you recommend it for people who haven't seen it at all yet?
If you're an Isaac Asimov fan, you definitely want to.
If you like sci-fi.
I was going to say, it
If you're
seems like a whole world to get into.
Star Trek.
Yeah.
Like, is it like
Yes.
No,
like-
I'd say more like Star Wars.
Right. I mean, they say that the people that wrote Star Wars, stole it from from this.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Because
it sounds confusing. I was going like this because you're just talking about stuff that's just going right through. Like, I don't even care what you're saying. It's too complicated just for you to actually try to explain
anecdotally tell you about it.
If we're not going to just sit down and have a whole show about the Foundation, I just want to know who's going to like it. So a Star Trek, Star Wars fan,
Yes.
or somebody a little bit higher than that?
I'd say it's a little bit more ethereal.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a little bit more trippy.
And now you're saying words that I don't understand, so I'm going to take that as disrespect.
There's some subplots in there that are about math and so forth.
Right, exactly. I mean, it's all about math.
That determines the future.
Right, it's predicting the
Real
future.
quick,
with math.
we're kind of on the same subject. I want to move over to HBO Max, and Dune is coming out. And I heard Kevin Smith do a non-spoiler review of Dune, and his review
overall
kind of made me go exactly what I was thinking the whole time, and made me kind of not interested anymore, actually.
Oh, really?
He's pretty much saying, they basically just do you remember anybody ever seeing The Lord of the Rings and never reading the books before?
Right.
And the first one, you're like, the movie just ends. And you're like, whoa, right? That's how Dune is. It's like they just chop it off.
Oh, really?
Where
Because
he said
they're going
right
to...
when it's about to get going, the movie ends.
Oh, that's not good.
Yeah. So he said it's pretty.
And is there a sequel that
I was going to say, because that's in the works already?
Is it like
otherwise, why would you do that?
I don't know, it's based off.
I mean, it's not
really long
guaranteed
book.
yet.
Right.
So
That's interesting.
But actually, I'm kind of liking that. So my expectations have been lowered. So
there you go. I mean,
but I'm thinking
I will see the heck out of it.
He described it kind of like The Foundation, where it's just a lot of talk.
Right.
And I'm someone that I've saw the original Dune one time and have no memory of it at all.
Right.
So it would be completely new to me.
One of the problems
I'm on
with
the same boat.
Foundation is they go and shift in time so quickly.
They do.
So that you can't fall in love with one character and kind of see the world through their eyes.
Okay.
Right. They are
Well,
popping
they
around.
have one person, but they actually then age her 35 years, and she's on a different planet. So she's totally older. It starts with a little girl, and then she's on a different planet. She's much older. So
Actually,
is that?
It's not true.
Oh, it's not true. Okay, well,
see, it's so complicated.
that's right. So if I'm confused, wouldn't the normal
So
watcher
maybe
be confused?
they're trying to keep you objective.
I don't know.
It's just a storytelling technique where from what I remember, the book is supposed to be 1,000 years, that it takes place in, and so they are jumping around in this timeline, to kind of fill in some gaps, and they jump ahead and to move the story along, but then they retreat and fill it in again, and so it is complicated that way.
I'm so confused. I don't even know what are you talking about Foundation or
Yeah.
Okay.
We were.
Wow. Whew. Yeah, it's going right past me. How about something really simple?
Well, I have one more to mention for
Okay.
Apple Plus before we totally move on from there.
yeah.
And just
I
in
got one
that
too.
a second season
We
that
have
didn't
moved off Apple Plus, but go ahead.
quite live up to its hype. I watched the first episode of The Morning Show.
Oh.
And I loved the first season. But I feel like they leaned too hard into complexity and cattiness, and it was like there was so much like ugliness of character displayed on the first
really?
episode that I was
really?
like, oh, this feels very soapy.
Okay.
So it's gonna be. I might give it another chance, but that was my first impression.
I haven't had heard a big buzz about it. I mean,
right,
we
it kind of
watched the
slipped
first.
in there in
I
September.
think COVID-19 took it all away because they had so much momentum, and then they had to wait a year to get going again, and it's like, okay, I'm on to other stuff by now.
Right.
It
Yeah,
doesn't
I
have
agree. And
done that.
they kind of even refer to COVID a little bit in the first episode, like, oh yeah, and then the pandemic happened, so here we are. Like they flash forward a lot, but then it's like you lost some investment. Yeah, I think that was kind of what I felt too.
Are you gonna continue?
I might give another episode a chance. If I don't feel any different, I probably won't continue.
What was the other one on?
I was going to
Apple
say
Plus?
Invasion is starting in very
When?
soon.
Oh shit!
November 2nd.
Now you have my attention.
There you
See?
go.
Yeah, that looks good, right?
It does looks very good.
I definitely want to see
with
that.
Neil, what's his name, and just
It looks great.
aliens.
It looks great. Okay, so
All right,
That's
we were
coming out
moving
soon.
on.
we were on HBO Max. Do you have anything from HBO Max before I rattle off a few? Which
Probably not.
No,
a documentary called "What Happened to Brittany Murphy."
Ooh,
Yeah.
we talked about
It's
that.
only 2 episodes long. Very good. I highly recommend it.
Yeah, I will be watching that.
Yeah.
I will
So I was a
too.
big fan of hers.
Let's see. The Voyagers. Have you seen that? That's Ty Sheridan and Colin Farrell.
No.
really.
Kind of a space thing.
Oh.
The young people. I'm just wondering if anybody's checked that out yet.
No. Tell us a little bit more about
Yeah,
it.
I don't know anything about it.
Oh, you did not see it.
These are things that I want to watch.
Oh,
So,
okay.
Must-sees.
Colin
Okay.
Farrell.
yeah.
Okay.
Looks good.
What is it called again?
The Voyagers.
The
Voyagers.
Voyage.
It's very
I think I've seen it.
neon looking
Seen it come up.
poster for it. A lot of color. It looks like it's going to be, kind of a young ship going kind of like what's the movie?
By the way,
Going from planet to planet, I'm guessing.
okay. There's season 2, Another You.
Yeah, of course I'll get to that.
Oh, is that right? Okay, sorry.
Okay. Anything else on HBO?
I
can't
can't
find
lots
it.
of things. You can't find it.
The only
Nope,
thing
can't
I'll
find it.
mention that
Don't know
I
how
did
to spell
watch
it.
on HBO Max was News of the World.
Mm.
And
That's on. Oh yeah, right. I still haven't watched that yet.
and I there's probably a reason. I started to watch it on a flight one time, like when it was new and it was available on a Southwest flight, and I didn't. It was too slow in the first 15, 20 that I didn't.
Right.
It wasn't worth the investment. I did watch it now because it was available without renting. I never sprung for the $30, but I feel like it was just a little bit following some formulas. It almost felt like, and it's a Tom Hanks movie, right? And it's like a Western, it's historical, based on a true story. They tell you in certain parts of it. I mean, I'm sure a lot of that is very grandized, but there was too much of like, it felt like a tinier story, like wearing its big brother's epic story clothes. Like it was trying to feel epic, but
I
wasn't that much.
I gave it
going
10 minutes
on.
and it
yeah, and it had a couple of moments where there was like some gunfights and it got exciting, but then it would just immediately kind of draw down, and some of the ebbs and flows of like of a part of the story climaxing, you were like, okay, that was it. That's what we were building up to.
Oh wow!
I don't know.
Wow, that's kind of shocking. I mean, Tom Hanks doesn't often have a lot of.
He's so perfect. I mean, like, and but that's the thing. High expectations. You
If you
expect
like him,
it to be
would you
A+.
watch it?
Yes, he's phenomenal. He's
Is he?
absolutely
Okay.
phenomenal. The little girl does a fantastic job too. And there's parts of the story that were really awesome. It's just as a cohesive whole, it just didn't feel like a big epic,
didn't live
thought
up
out.
to. It
arc
turned out
and
to be
story.
just a guy trying to get somebody from here to there.
Yeah, and you kind of predict what's going to happen, and it just doesn't. It didn't
it's very
punch for me
dull.
at the end.
It's
yeah,
dull.
dull. It
Oh.
was
very
dull.
It's very dull.
Have you seen
Good
the
word.
previews for? He's like in a sci-fi apocalyptic one where he's
Yeah,
with
that is
Oh,
coming
yeah.
out very soon.
What is that, Bill?
like
Good
a
mention.
robot and
Big
a
B or
dog.
something like that. Tom Hanks. I got to look up his title.
No
Yep.
idea.
So,
All right.
That's coming out soon, and that might actually be on HBO.
Move to Netflix.
Okay,
Squid Games. Has anybody watched all of Squid Games?
not
Right.
all of it.
right to
Just
the
sampled.
Number one show in
disappointing
the country.
last.
In the world.
Everybody's talking about
Disappointing
it.
last one.
The way it closed was a little bit weird. The ending. What did you think?
I thought it was great all the way through. I thought
Okay.
every episode better than the next. But
How many have you watched, Dave?
Are
all
you
of them,
through it?
all of them,
Okay.
yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was phenomenal.
Well, tell us about it.
Yeah.
No,
right.
I don't know.
Overall.
It's the number one show in the world, so we don't want to spoil it. But it's about kind of a down on his luck, kind of gambler type guy.
And he's the main focus. I mean, there's a lot of main characters, but he's
Right.
You follow him throughout the
follow
show.
him.
You
the
find
main-
out that there's, a bunch of people that are in the same situation.
456 to be exact.
Yeah, 457, I think.
Oh, because he
And-
is the last one, and then the old man is number one.
Number one. And, right. Horrible. The first episode gets you going with this crazy game of stop and go.
I love that.
right?
Green light.
Red light, green
Red light.
You kind of wish the show could have went that direction the whole way and just been more less drama and more just ultra violence.
Well,
but,
I think there was pretty much.
I was gonna
ultra-violent
say-
for the-
it does go ultra violent.
This
but
is a horror series.
No.
I would say this is horror.
no, for a little girl. maybe.
Constantly,
Well,
people get shot.
Yeah.
You lose the game, you get shot in the head. You lost. Bang.
well, and the premise, right? You signed up to be abducted somehow. I mean, they vote
Hey,
to
you
stay.
signed on the dotted line, so we can shoot you in the head.
Right, exactly. I mean,
But
that's horrifying, right?
But it
I
is
think it's
very
horror.
fair. I'll give you a little spoiler.
Okay.
That,
Okay.
that actually, at one point, everybody votes to stop
Right.
the game, and they
choose to stay.
they choose to go home, and everybody goes home. Game over. But they're
There's a
they're
twist.
gamblers. They're addicted. They want to go back.
Like the cash.
There's a chance to win.
yeah.
Chance.
You're addicted to that rush, and
Now-
they know that.
I loved every game,
You were
like the
chosen.
marble game and the
It's very
game-
creative.
Oh man!
Did you watch
each
all of
game
them?
is so
No,
clever.
no, no, no.
They're like little kids games, but you like marbles,
Right.
right? And so, but you have to play it so well because your life depends on it, literally.
I have
Wow,
more
that's
interesting
fun.
questions to ask. Like, is it possible that this game could have had 20 winners, 30 winners? Was it designed that way? Like, think about each game. Is it possible that
No,
that
and the reason for that is because, like the marble game, they started to.
that cut the
Yeah.
cast in half?
You're right, and that was horrible. Like, you said,
Wow.
okay, now team up with somebody. So you team up with your wife. There was one person who was a husband and wife. Well, at the end of the game, only one winner. So the guy
Gets
kills his wife.
right.
It's horrible.
Yeah.
Well, and they've been chosen for a reason because they picked people who would kill their wife.
I guess so.
Maybe.
I don't think so.
I've only seen the first episode.
You don't know because we didn't actually see the wife and the husband. They just said that
Well, it's
one
not
was
like
dead.
you couldn't say
she
no.
could have said, okay, and tricked him into killing him.
Sure.
Purposely lose so that
He would win.
Because he's not going to kill. You lose the marble game, and then this guy comes up and shoots you in the head, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is that how it goes?
Right. Remember the two
Jeez.
girls were fighting with each other and playing marbles, and one said, "Well, you have more of a life to live than me," and she purposely tricked her so that she won. So she had her go first, and then she tried to lose and let the other one win, and then the next one did even shittier, so she got killed.
Right.
So, I mean, from that point of view, that's a pretty cool concept.
It is. I was just gonna say it's very creative, and it's like even though it's terrifying and you know a little bit of horror there, that's a lot of human interest kind of to explore.
Yeah.
And it's the #1 show ever on Netflix. So I mean,
Biggest
what does
thing-
that
Are you
tell you?
kidding me? Really?
Biggest
Wow.
thing since the Tiger King.
And this is a Korean subtopic.
That's another reason why
captioned
it's so popular.
movie.
Well, I'm sure it's
Or
the
series.
is it the foreign markets that
Yes.
cranked it way up?
In Korea.
And you wonder.
Yeah,
I mean, like
South
once
Korea.
it's trending, it comes up first for everyone. That's the thing. Like they have a lot of control.
I mean,
there.
They do,
right.
right.
Like
that's true.
what do you pick to put first? Who
They
gets
can
that
throw a old
spot to
movie
begin
in.
with?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
There's
They
some-
throw an old movie up occasionally,
Yep.
and it's immediately
and immediately the #1 thing in the country.
Right.
Like really?
That's what I mean. Like that spot has a great influence over how well something's going to do.
Yeah.
How much it's viewed.
I would
So-
love to run Netflix. Everybody, we're gonna all watch this movie.
watch what I tell you to watch.
you're
Yeah.
gonna- that's basically what
Well,
they're doing.
and you have a couple different profiles I know on some of these
right?
streaming
yeah.
services.
I try to like
Keep
clear
one of
them and
partial.
and keep one that's
And do you notice that you get like a whole different group of movies sometimes?
occasionally
You do, but there are things that will always come up. No
Yeah.
matter what, that
Right,
are
so there's a
nothing to do with
generic-
what, you know what I
generic
mean? So
number
it's like
one
there's
trend.
something going on there of who gets
You know what I've
spot.
noticed? Sometimes, like something that's really popular that's been, I don't know, somehow advertised. You get these emails sometimes telling you about Hulu or HBO.
Yep.
And so I go for it and I go, I don't even see it here. So then I have to go to search, type
right.
it in, and then it pops up. I go, why aren't you pushing it?
It's so
'Cause they don't-
specific to you.
They're pushing, or they're pushing it and they know, well, too many people are watching it. So we're going to like calm it down so we can stretch it out a little bit more. They don't
Yeah.
want
Oh, I'm
everybody
sure.
to-
This is a full-time position, I'm sure, is the
Right.
complexities of what
Sure,
belongs
right.
in
Like,
those
it's like a whole-
recommended.
It's a whole department of, of programming, I'm sure, at Netflix.
Season 3 of You. Have you watched
No.
the first 2 seasons?
I saw
of
it
You?
came out. I watched
That's
the
a great
first
show.
season.
I've never seen any of it.
Oh my god!
It's a very good show.
yeah. That's
Didn't it
one of the
switch-
best shows.
Didn't it switch platforms in season 2?
It did. It went from like I don't know Lifetime.
It
or,
was like USA or
yeah,
something.
something like that, and then it
Okay.
went to
That was my
It
only
went to Netflix
complaint
for the second one.
about the first season. It was like a tad too tame sometimes. Like it needed just a little bit of
Did you
more
see the second
swearing
one?
or whatever
Yeah.
for my taste.
Oh yeah.
So now
Kelly,
it's
did you
on
see
Netflix?
All of it?
I saw all of the first season, and that's all I've seen.
It's just
Okay.
unique. You know, you have the inner dialogue
Right.
of a
the narration.
psycho going the whole time.
And the third season is available now.
yeah, brand new, just like 2 days ago,
Have
and
you,
already
have you started?
haven't started yet. They already said season 4 is coming for
Wow. Okay.
Netflix. So
Oh wow!
it's just gonna keep on going.
I can
and
give
going
that a
and going.
chance. It was good. Like I said, it wasn't mind blowing in my opinion.
Oh really? Okay.
I love Dexter, and believe
Yes.
it or not, they're bringing Dexter back now.
Oh,
What will that be on?
Really?
I mean, will it be on?
it was on
Hulu?
Netflix originally. Dexter started on Netflix.
I'm not sure, but it's well advertised. There's a new season of Dexter coming.
Oh, I love Dexter.
Yeah,
A
And
lot
he
of people do.
That star, he didn't do much.
Michael C. Hall. Yeah.
Right, he didn't do a lot.
He had cancer.
he had medical issues, cancer of something.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
think
he had
he-
cancer.
I
believe he's cancer free at this point, though.
Oh well,
I
great.
guess if they're bringing it
Great.
back.
So now we can chop people up again.
Yeah, absolutely.
And Carpenter, his sister.
Yeah, and he married her, Deborah, in real life. They were
Really?
married. Yeah, Michael C. Hall and her. I forget her name now. They were married
Carpenter.
for like
Carpenter is her
3
last
years
name.
or something, but then they did get divorced.
Oh,
Right, it was short lived, but they had such good brother brother sister chemistry on the show, but yeah, they were married during that time. They met on the set and were subsequently married.
How about Hulu?
Ooh.
Anybody have?
I've been camped out on Hulu.
Okay, now
lately.
hold on. Let me tell you some of the bad stuff on Hulu.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know why Bill is enjoying this. Maybe you're with Beth, but La Brea is absolutely.
I'll tell you why. Because
one of the worst shows.
There's an inner
ever.
14-year-old in me.
Okay.
That just wants to see a giant saber-toothed tiger eat somebody.
Ooh, okay, fair enough.
They have spent a lot of money on CG.
Okay.
Yeah, but they're at PlayStation 2 levels. At least on my televisions, those are horrible.
Distracting
graphics.
to you?
Distracting. That is like, watching the Flintstones saber-toothed tiger on there.
I can see that. I can see it. Yeah.
It's not good.
Give me 1 second here, because I only know it from maybe a half of an advertisement that I watched. What is it exactly?
In the first 5 minutes of the first episode, first 5 minutes, a gigantic sinkhole appears to be maybe a mile in diameter.
Okay, and it's in
half a mile
current time,
just in the middle of LA,
where the tar pits are.
Okay, so did you have a premise queued up there?
Yeah, giant, like he says, a giant sinkhole in LA tar pits opens up.
La Brea.
And somehow it's a portal back to saber-toothed tigers?
No, not even a portal. Just
how do you get? How are they still alive?
Like everything. Actually, most of the stuff that fell actually lands on like it's like
another
like
world?
Godzilla versus Kong.
Is it?
Inside
Land of the Lost?
No, very much like Land of the Lost.
It's Land of the Lost. So that's why I say the 14-year-old in me loves it.
I think more like a 12-year-old.
The reason that they don't explain it right away, and it's a little bit of a spoiler, but they go through what looks like this line of light, and they're actually going through time.
Okay, so I was going to say there has to be something of that.
Because otherwise they'd all die if they fell in a big hole. They'd all die, right?
Yeah.
But they actually go through time, and they land where they are right now. That's why.
Okay.
In one of the ones, he finds his wife's wedding ring. It's one of the stars, and it's how can that be? How can you find that? Because they're exactly where they were, just in a different time, 10,000 years ago.
Wow. So the wedding ring would last.
So there's
don't get too wow about it.
Okay.
I looked at the ratings, and it's either people like it or they don't like it.
They hate it.
Probably half of the people hate it. Bad. It's like TV acting.
I was gonna say it looked like a little bit cheesy to me on a first
cheesy
impression.
TV acting. Yeah, but anyway,
if you like it, you keep watching it.
I watched a smidge of an interview with the mom and daughter, like the main kind of blonde girl that's an amputee, and that's nice. Like she felt very empowered, and that's cool that she's got a leading role, kind of one of the first amputees, and they wrote that into her character as well.
Okay.
So that's pretty cool.
Well, that's cool.
So I'll give it that. But yeah, overall, it just struck me as probably unbelievable.
Maybe
a
a
little cheesy.
skip. Bill's gonna watch. You'll be our La Brea guy.
Yeah.
God,
I will recommend it if the 14-year-old in you likes. What was that show that you said? Lost what?
Land of the Lost.
If
there
you like
go.
Land of the
Or
Lost.
like a 10 or 12-year-old. 14-year-old,
Okay.
I doubt it.
All right.
I doubt it. How about Kelly?
He's tough. Dave's
Kelly's been
tough.
watching Dope Sick.
Yes, and
Ooh.
I would recommend it. I honestly would, and I feel like
On Hulu.
And that's on Hulu.
It's on Hulu. It's got some names that I really love. I am a huge Rosario Dawson fan, so she's just kind of a badass, special agent
Lover.
with
Daredevil.
DEA. Yeah, she's always
Mandalorian.
just awesome. And Michael Keaton, he's like this older country doctor in West Virginia, and
that's
it's
what he is.
the role kind of just like really sinks in for you with him. The casting is phenomenal, and honestly, I think.
I'm just looking.
Gabe just looking at himself on the camera.
Cheers.
Okay, Dope Sick. What's our premise?
So the premise, and I should look this up on IMDb if someone wants to, but I'll butcher it to begin with. So, I mean, it's following the opioid epidemic.
Oxycontin.
Yes, and it starts in 1996. And so for someone like, I have interest in it anyway. I've paid attention to the Purdue Pharma lawsuits and things that have progressed now. There's actually, now it's gotten to the point where they're investigating corporations' responsibility in this, like Walgreens is where we're at today.
Oh, wow.
But this goes back to the very beginning, ground zero, where Richard Sackler, the doctor of this family of Purdue Pharma, was developing the drug, and how much like knowledge and purpose he had in launching this. And I mean, what they knew and when they knew it, and all of the money that went into progressing this and
like nefarious intentions,
yes,
and knowing
absolutely.
that it was going to be addictive, and
yes,
like,
and you kind of start out with these like 0 to 1,000 odds heroes at the beginning that were like, this is a big deal, this is a problem, we need to start to try to fight this. And it's like that's where you kind of start out in following these, the agents and the lawyers who want to try to pursue this, and all of the efforts of that getting shut down. And in the meantime, where it started and how it started, and like, just, this is non-addictive, and it's going to save the lives of all of these poor people in Pennsylvania and West Virginia that have these manual labor jobs, and it's transforming lives. But
exactly the opposite.
Exactly.
Just turned them all into addicts.
It's kind of horrifying, but they do a really good job of flashing forward and back, first of all, because you're going from the 2000s back to the 90s, and it's kind of going back and forth, and all of that is made very clear, and it's got a lot of beautiful character arcs so far launched, and you've got some personal stuff going on with each one of those players, and it's phenomenal. The
good
casting,
acting.
the casting is perfect.
Does have a lot of good actors.
A lot of good performances so far. So yeah, I'd recommend.
Highly recommend.
Mm-hmm.
Michael Keaton, Peter Skarsgård, Dave. You love
I like
Caitlin
Skarsgård.
Deaver.
Yes,
Remember,
I love her.
Very, very
yeah,
good.
from Booksmart and Unbelievable.
Okay.
I'll have to check it out.
Yes, I recommend.
8 episodes.
And even if you know like the story or the outcomes on some of this stuff, they're still going back and kind of filling in blanks. And like, even someone who did know something about it, there's stuff you're learning. And if you don't know anything about it, it's an awesome fucking story.
Wow, with that language, it has to be great.
All right,
Sorry.
cool.
Is anybody
my
interested in
language.
any Halloween stuff? We're getting close.
I know.
Yeah.
Maybe next week will be the Halloween episode.
Well, I did
supposed to
finish
be.
Midnight Mass. That'd be switching
Oh.
platforms, but that was horror. That's justifiably horror.
I mean, we've talked about it. It actually is like
People love
our
it.
highest for the podcast. Any mention of Midnight Mass is
People like it.
crazy.
Well,
like the uploads are
heavy. Let me tell you what I think.
All right, let's talk about it again.
Because I don't give a lot of horror a lot of chances.
Okay.
I find it somewhat trite, somewhat predictable sometimes. Like, horror doesn't, I'm not like Dave. Horror isn't my thing. You know what I
Okay.
mean? I don't automatically assume I'm going to like it if it's horror. But Midnight Mass, I will give it to you that it ended up different than
It was.
anything else I've ever seen. It had
It's not a typical
it had
horror
these like
story.
nuance influences throughout.
What did you
that-
think of Hamish, the Father John or Father Paul?
He was phenomenal.
Phenomenal,
and they,
right?
Like, part of this undercurrent theme of a sheep in a wolf in sheep's clothing, right? Like, it's
Yeah.
these characters that were seemingly innocuous, right, or even good, ended up being evil.
Yeah, and the thing about him was that he didn't. I don't think he thought of himself as evil.
Right,
He
and
thought
that's the
he
thing.
was like, a bit of a savior.
Right. And the unconscious evil, or was it purposeful? Where then there's so many different levels of that.
Yeah.
Where Bev, oh my God.
No.
Like, I don't think I've ever hated a character as
Right.
much as I
Another
hated
one
her.
That just was distorted by religion to think that she was doing the right thing, even though she was just evil.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, and she was like, I mean, a kind of a personal, like, the words, I can't think of the nasty enough words to describe that woman, because that's how much she got under my skin. But her delivery, I think it was kind of one of those perfect mixes of writing and delivery, of just how she kind of like just
She's
pressed on every nerve of mine. Like she just was awful.
Yeah, she really was, and yeah, she was I mean, you probably watch that actor and always expect her to be that way. From
Right.
Who knows? She
The
might be
thing
a nice
is,
person, but you'll always have that Bev character when you see her.
This group of actors are all kind of like a group. You know how some
are they?
actors kind of like they all
Sure.
do the same movies,
Like
so,
Judd Apatow people.
Oh.
right?
Ben Affleck,
Kate
Sure.
Siegel.
Damon.
Kate Siegel
Yep.
is married. Played the main character.
Right.
Her husband is the director.
Right.
And
writer,
so
director.
Bev and
And they've done other stuff together.
and Zach Riley. They do
That
several
makes
movies
sense
together.
where you kind of have a certain amount of established
Familiarity.
chemistry, right?
Right,
I mean,
yeah.
like you know how to work with each other already,
yeah,
and I feel like
exactly.
that transcended. But yeah, there's like certain parts of it. You have like your vampire theme, right? 'Cause
Well, the
that's
thing about this movie, very impressive,
Or show.
is that the show. It was a movie. No use of the word vampire ever in the movie.
Nope.
The director said.
That's what I was gonna
he
say.
said he absolutely would refuse to have the word vampire because once you use the word vampire one time, it's compared to every other vampire movie.
Right.
yeah. Well, and they actually even use the phrase zombie apocalypse.
Did they
once.
really?
Yes, in was it the last or the second to last episode? Because they realized that it's like, oh, that's the purpose. Like it's going to
Okay.
we're going to turn everybody. And somebody, I think it's the last episode because when they're trying to
sounds
get
about
out
right.
of
Well, 'cause it
they're
got
like,
off the
oh,
if it
before the
got off
zombie
the island.
apocalypse hits.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, and it would then get to New York and kill everybody.
So it almost there was a little bit that reminded me, and I don't know if you guys ever read this or whatever, but it was a trilogy by Guillermo del Toro and another guy, Chuck something. I'm gonna forget his name at the moment, but it was called the Strain trilogy.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
It
yeah.
was like the fall and like
Yep, on
so,
FX.
That was
Yes,
I
and
never
well,
saw
so
that.
I didn't see it, but I read the
I
books,
saw it. Okay.
and it was that it had a little bit of a flavor of that to it, know, that you
Definitely.
were turned, and that was their ultimate goal to spread and take over the world.
Exactly.
But also, what was kind of different about this and striking is that once you were turned, you were still yourself. You were back to totally yourself.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
That's
Yeah, right.
That's almost like a little bit like Interview with the Vampire, where it turns you into your best self, but
Oh,
then
right.
you're still cognizant and have all your memories. You're not like transformed into a creature, right?
Right,
It's still
exactly.
you.
Oh yeah.
Right, you're not a zombie.
Right, right.
It's a very positive thing to get turned.
Well, yeah.
I mean, in a
Or
way.
was it?
Or what?
But yeah, I would highly recommend. I mean, like I said, I feel like it was very creative. There was good use of horror. It wasn't just a gore fest.
No, not
but,
at all.
It had its moments where
I thought it was just an acting.
Yeah.
I
Acting
loved,
marvel.
I
The
loved
monologues.
the monologues. I
Yes.
loved them.
That was notable in it. I'll give you one. How about one topic to talk about with Midnight Mass? What did you guys think of the technical part of it, which was the de-aging and the fact that so many actors in the first episodes, it was like
That was
I was
my
like
only
off-put. Like,
Yes.
gosh,
I was
these people
gonna
look like
say-
they all have like aged makeup
So
on.
so
It's like,
Sarah,
wow,
yeah, was
look
my
at all these people.
Oh,
They're
right,
all,
my
the
biggest
senile
attraction
mother.
was Sarah, and I was like, well, she's clearly young. That's got to be a plot point for later
Oh,
on.
you
That
figured
clearly
it out.
she's
I was-
going to become young,
I
because
was-
otherwise,
Right.
why would you do that?
Right.
that's,
I didn't actually catch it.
I
yeah,
did.
if you look
Sarah
at
for
go
sure.
back and look, yes.
Oh yeah, I'll go back. Yeah, but I
She's
didn't
taking
catch
care
it.
of her mother. Her mother is got dementia.
really
Yes.
old.
And then she gets younger
like
and
all
younger.
frail and aged and stuff.
can barely
and-
walk.
Yeah.
And by the end of, well, I don't want to give it all away, but
Yeah, I don't want to spoil it too much.
but that to me was like one little point where I was like, I'm not gonna like
The
lean into
makeup
that or let
wasn't that good.
Yeah, I'm not gonna let that distract from it
Yeah.
for me. But I knew something was up when I
I
saw
agree.
it. I was
That
like,
would be my one critique.
Okay.
it's like,
Yeah,
I
I didn't
did
think she was
catch that.
getting young. I just thought it was a bad job of making somebody old.
Well, and I mean, I was like, that was my only like hint that
Well,
that
there's
was
so many of 'em.
something to do with the plot. That
You
I was
know.
like, oh, she's obviously, that de-aging is going to come into play here.
Ah, smart.
Anybody interested in a show called "I Know What You Did Last Summer"? Series.
show?
There's a series on Amazon
I have
Prime.
seen about
Oh,
it.
Amazon
I've
Prime.
I haven't.
seen it.
I haven't checked it out yet, but this time of year,
Yeah.
maybe.
You want the scary?
Is that just starting? And
Just
so there's probably a
starting.
couple of episodes only?
I don't know. But
Will you watch it? Being
I
the
don't
horror
know. I'm just
fan?
kind of asking. I don't. There's so much to watch. I'm so behind.
Right. I can't afford to do that. If I was a serious Halloween
I can afford
fan,
to watch
Yeah.
one episode.
I was just going to mention about Why the Last Man on Hulu. You kind of jumped over that.
Oh.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's
What is
another
it?
apocalyptic show.
Oh.
All the men die right in the first show.
Yes, I've seen a preview of it.
So I've seen 3 shows.
Okay.
I think that might be all that's there, and it comes out every Monday.
Oh, when you
Gotcha.
said why, I thought you were saying you. That's
So
what-
the letter
okay.
Y is in the Y chromosome.
Okay.
Right.
But only one man lives. There's a few other men that live, but they were actually women that were taking testosterone.
Oh, so they're not actually
right.
full-fledged men.
If you're a woman, you live. So imagine all the politicians now. The government is all women. All the military
That's
are
right.
women. All the police
Diane
are
Lane
women.
plays the
Right, she
president.
becomes the
Is
president.
it too big of a question to ask how? Why? How do they die? What? Why? Like.
Right. Well, they don't explain it. The first 3. All they know. I mean, they're studying it.
Okay.
The military takes.
But I mean, like one day they all drop dead, or they all.
Bam! All in one day. It was a little bit too quick.
I'm gonna guess a
Okay.
Chinese lab, maybe.
Well, yeah. I mean, that makes a big difference in the story, right? I was just curious what we know about
based
that.
on
Okay.
a comic
Oh,
series.
it happened like
Really?
they get news that something, a big event is happening in Israel, and then it slowly just happens all over the world.
And you've
Okay.
watched them?
I've watched the first 3.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah.
And would you recommend it?
I would recommend it if you like apocalyptic shows.
Okay. Different
Yeah.
spin.
So,
Apocalypse for half of our population.
yeah, so you have one great actor, Diane Lane, who becomes the president, and she's got a. So it's kind of political in a way because remember Designated Survivor with Kiefer Sutherland?
Yes,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
do.
Okay, so imagine that is mixed with kind of the any apocalyptic story you want, where it's a disease that kills everybody. And so a lot of little subplots. Diane Lane, she's the president, and she's got 2 dysfunctional kids who are like spoiled, and one of them is the man who is the only survivor man
Oh, boy.
on Earth. And
He's
so they
going
have
to
to
be a
protect.
precious commodity.
Right, so they're actually like trying to hide him because they're going to do, eventually genetic tests and all that.
Sure.
And they're taking the military and they're protecting the sperm banks and things like that. It's kind of interesting from that angle.
Sure.
But otherwise, I mean, it's just, if you like apocalyptic ones, check
Yeah,
it out.
different spin.
But it's not fantastic, so I give it that qualifier.
All right. Good enough. There's
Good
Don
enough.
at the mic. You know
You got
what?
me turned down so much I got to shout.
What if there was like a show where I just kind of went off to a daydream
Yeah.
where like they invented, this would be the show.
Okay.
And like the sexes kind of went away. Like that was the problem where everybody kind of like retracted,
into eunuchs?
retracted
Right? I'm
and
like-
sealed up. Like
and sealed up.
like there's nothing there, kind of like Ken and Barbie.
Okay.
And
Wow.
now the world is just full of
So-
there's no more
There's
reproduction.
no ongoing
Dave,
population.
I don't think there's been a movie like that.
no
that's
reproduction.
that would be very creative.
Because-
Like, where do we go from here? There's no other future.
Is it just a lot
to,
of
to
gunshots to the head, or
I'm sure there'd be
Is
some of that.
the equivalent of people, just everybody becoming sterile?
no? But
know?
but the thing would be they.
But if it got sealed off, that
Yeah,
would
that's
be,
the way. I
that
mean,
would be more
what-
powerful.
I mean,
Yeah, you
then
have
you would be
nothing.
just shooting your head.
there's
'cause-
not only any reproducing, but then there'd be no fornicating.
Right. It's
I
like,
mean,
what's the, there's actually a benefit.
what
to,
do we
like,
do here?
Going sterile because you just go crazy.
right?
Go
But
on.
if you didn't have your junk to work
Right,
with,
exactly. Then
that would
pretty
be
much
different. More
you know,
shots to the head.
it's
yeah,
just
a lot
about
more shots to the head.
No, I love that whole concept of sex drive, and
does it just like
does
rot
that,
off?
It
and
makes
fall
the world
off or
go
something?
round.
I think
It
so.
does,
Like
absolutely.
it kind of rots and scabs, and
Ah.
then nice smooth
icky,
skin.
icky.
We've got something here,
Well,
Dave.
That's a
And then
horror.
it ends where everybody is just reading a book on the couch. They have nothing to do.
You want to do something? No.
Whoever
Yeah.
survives, maybe.
You want to do something? No.
It'd be all
No,
about,
I don't.
It'd be all about food then.
Right?
Because you think about
Oh my
it.
gosh, I love it. Everyone
Yeah.
would get fat.
I look forward to
Because
it.
why would you need to stay skinny?
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
No, but they all live
Looking
forever
for
too.
pleasure somewhere
Hilarious.
else.
No, now
They
you're
live
adding-
forever also. The
Oh
world.
boy. Now you're getting
Ugh.
too complicated.
Yeah, okay.
Exactly.
Okay.
No, but
Why
that's
don't
a
you work
great
on
idea.
that?
Rein it in.
And
Yeah,
if
I love
anybody
it.
hears this, we would love 10% of the profit.
Let's massage that concept.
Okay.
I like it.
I love that idea.
Amazon Prime.
All right, what you got?
I got something on Amazon Prime before you even start.
Do you really?
Okay,
Yeah.
what?
What?
Just
Oh, yeah. Tell me about it, Don.
If you go to Amazon Prime now, they have improved their
Horrible.
horrible interface.
Oh.
Where now they went like Netflixy, where you put you click on something, brings it up to the top, and you start to see a trailer.
Oh, yeah, because
okay.
Netflix did a really great job.
Right,
of
so
that.
it's not that boring thing where you can just, I love to be able to just go through and just get a feel for things.
Does it look the
Right.
same?
It looks almost identical to Netflix. It's like, it always was the same. And I mean, it always
Yeah.
brought it up to the top and it would show a picture, but now it immediately goes into a trailer.
You
or-
had to kinda,
I'm
like,
checking on it right
bite
now.
the bullet and just
What's good on
shift.
Amazon
Oh, wow.
Prime, though? I mean, you rented...
They have a
some
lot of
Oh, I
movies.
can tell you all great things on Amazon Prime.
Okay.
They do have a couple of things just to give props to their platform that I like that no one else has, like where you can shortcut if you're in a scene, like you on my TV or on your phone, you can just swipe from a corner or you press like one button
Oh, yeah.
and it shows you like all of the actors that
That-
are in that scene.
It's called X-Ray.
That's
yeah,
also,
I mean
that's been
very
better.
that's very cool.
That's
I love that.
That's actually been an improve. I mean,
Yeah.
a
And
a
there's
really good
like
thing.
there's almost like there used to be those like VH1 videos back in the day where it would like tell you tidbits about things as they
Right,
happened. You
right.
can turn that on Amazon Prime too, where it'll
Oh,
show
really?
you like it'll tell you like background snippets of it getting shot and like
Oh, really?
yeah, info about the people who, are in the scene or who wrote it and stuff like that. It's
Well, that's cool.
yeah. There are some cool features that Amazon Prime that has that no one else does.
All right, Dave, what's good on Amazon Prime?
I don't know what's good on it right now, but what's new,
Yeah.
some new old stuff.
Okay.
That's
New
the, that's
old.
the that's the fun thing. Like
Ooh, what's the thing?
like Netflix
Is that the old
makes
thing?
you watch an old movie,
Right.
But
Right.
like, have you seen Cowboys versus Aliens lately?
No,
No.
with Daniel Craig.
You can see that.
That's a good one.
The original Die Hard, boom, that's being advertised as new.
Oh, love that original with Bruce Willis.
Motel Hell. Have you ever seen that?
That's,
a great old.
Is that where they take the people and they plant them in the ground
Yeah, and then
and
they
they
put.
grow into?
No, they plant them in the ground and then they pull their necks with a tractor.
Oh my god!
Yeah, terrible,
Ouch.
terrible,
Terrible. It's just terrible.
Fight Club,
Ooh. That's a
Wow.
good
Prometheus,
one. Okay.
They do have,
Raising Arizona.
those are big
Oh,
movies.
Nicolas Cage.
I do want to watch the Tomorrow War again. We were just talking about
Oh yeah.
that.
Yeah.
I saw that on there. I know what you said. I know what you did last summer. That's actually an Amazon Prime.
Right.
original.
Yes.
We'll have to check
It-
that
it's
one
it's
out.
highlighted right here. It looks,
It looks like they have the original film listed soon after it there.
You know what I started watching on Prime?
What?
Just, I started rewatching Mad Men.
Oh, really?
Oh, that is boy. Just watch the first episode of Mad Men. You do not have to wait for like really good shit. I mean, right off the bat,
That first
show is
episode.
just-
Really?
Oh yeah, it's
that show
fantastic.
did take off immediately.
It totally does.
Oh man, I love
Yep.
that show.
And it's still good.
You know what? There was a movie that we wanted to watch for today, but we didn't get to it. But we did watch the first 30 minutes of The Green Knight. And we'll get back to you, and we'll tell you all about the
Yeah.
full movie.
Yeah, but next week we'll have a review of that.
I didn't realize
Dev
that,
Patel.
Joel Edgerton, Sean Harris, Barry Keoughan, Dev Patel, Elise Vicklander. It was
Huge cast.
Yeah.
I think we were just getting
It looks epic.
into it.
Well,
In the
you
first
know,
30 minutes, right?
It takes
it's probably
place in the Dark Ages.
right. We were just getting to the good
We were just
stuff.
tasting it, but I thought it was phenomenal.
A24 and just gritty and realistic and
A24 is in the studio
yeah,
that
they're
made
just-
it.
right. So they You know it's going to be good when you see that coming.
Right,
They do a lot of good stuff.
You have a certain amount of assurance there.
Yeah, I mean, that
I
night,
thought,
that
though,
Green Night.
I was a
ooh.
little slow in building. A little slow. I mean,
well, it's not an action movie. I mean, it's not.
Well, and
I don't think it's designed to be like
right. I
a
mean, you almost have
diehard
to think
type
of
thriller.
Shakespearean influence. We're talking about a very
Right.
classic story here.
It's more of an adventure.
This is adapted.
Yeah,
I mean, you guys watch a lot of everything you described so far today. I don't see what's more exciting than The Green Knight.
There you go.
I mean, it's hard to watch something calm like Foundation. It takes a lot of energy to not just being lullabied to sleep by their calm voices.
that's true.
It's true. I mean, sometimes the story is what you're there for.
That's why you need heavy caffeine. I recommend 400 milligrams, half hour before you start.
Before you start
a movie.
A movie in general. Yeah, like last night when I tried to watch The Foundation, that just was not going to happen.
Wow, you started it last night after leaving my house?
I did, yeah.
Wow.
So
I'm
that's
not surprised that you fell asleep.
10
Wow,
p.m.
you had a lot of alcohol.
Woke up on the couch at like 4 in the morning.
That's it.
All right, next week, The Green Knight.
Yeah, we'll get to The Green Knight.
The movie that we were thinking of for Tom Hanks was Finch. Finch, which is an Apple Plus movie, which is like Outcast, or not, Castaway, except in the future, where instead of having a volleyball with a face on it, he's got a robot.
Awesome.
Right,
So it's
okay.
it's Castaway in the future.
Gotcha.
We're going to just talk over the entire
we are.
entire 5 minutes and 50 seconds because
Good.
that way we won't get pulled off YouTube because I haven't changed this ending yet.
Well,
Oh, okay.
let me mention one more.
Yeah,
If you
keep talking.
haven't seen
Please
it
do.
yet, Only Murders in the Building. The final episode is coming out Tuesday.
Yeah, save the
And
best
I
for
am
last.
still loving it. It got better. It got better and
It
better.
did. It
I
did.
love it.
Yep. It kind of like lulled a little bit there, and I was like, "Oh, this is decent." But they're pulling it around in the end, and you thought you had it all figured out
Right.
about mid-season, and then continues
Well, I was
to
like,
be
there's
funny.
got to be something else happening here. It can't be over this
Well,
much.
similar to clickbait, they only give you
God, we
enough
forgot clickbait.
information that you think, oh, I know who the killer is.
Right.
Yes.
And
Okay. Is
by
that
the
how
next
it-
show,
They're only giving you snippets at a time.
right, and then
Yeah.
they give you more information. You go, oh no, maybe
Yeah.
this is the killer.
Well, clickbait, literally every show, it's like, this is the killer. But then you go, there's 4 more episodes, or this is the killer.
Right.
This
You're
is
like,
that
well,
how they
it
do
can't
it?
be.
That's the whole way through.
Yeah.
Like they just, they
just
really convince you.
teasing
this
you,
is the
giving you
killer.
like false
Love
Right.
true
clickbait.
facts.
Love it. But,
Yeah, but clickbait was great.
that's the hook.
That's how true crime works. That made me watch another one on Hulu. I'm just going to say it. Wild Crime.
You got a lot of time. Don't
Oh,
worry
really?
about it.
No,
Yeah.
I haven't
that?
heard that.
I watched the first 2 episodes. It's kind of like a classic true crime story, but the reason why I clicked on it is because it occurred in Estes Park in Colorado, which is like one of my favorite national parks.
Okay.
And it hooked me because the very first sentence talked about a trail, Deer Ridge Trail in Estes Park that I've hiked it like, 10 times. I'm like, I know
Lauren
where
was
that is.
just there.
Yeah,
Really?
Lauren was just there. But it was,
Wow.
kind of one of those classic stories, sort of like a Dateline kind of a feel where this guy killed his wife, but it was an accident. But everyone that knew them was like, I don't think that was an accident. And then you
Right.
find out, there was a first wife that also died in an accident.
Oh, boy.
Oh.
Now I'm getting suspicious.
Yes, right. There was like
episodes.
4 episodes. There was a total of like 17 anonymous letters that were sent. So there's like,
interesting.
unveiling. But the one thing that was different about this that I enjoyed was that it took the murders, who knows, the accidents took place in national parks. So it kind of talks through and gives you insight into National Park Service detectives. It's like that falls into a different jurisdiction, right? For
I don't
law
even know what that
enforcement.
means. Sure.
Right. There's like this elite force of
People that investigate stuff.
for the national
People
parks.
getting killed in the forest.
Does that guy look like Kevin James or what?
Yeah, he
Holy
does.
cow.
Oh,
The coach of the Panthers.
Panthers coach.
Holy shit.
Uncanny.
I mean, uncanny.
Random tangent.
Yep.
Other thing I like about
We're good for that.
Murders in Only in the Building
Yeah.
is that it's about they're running a podcast.
Yes.
Right, there you
Yes.
go. That's a reason to watch, Dave. You'll like that.
Yeah, I'll check out their mics
It is
and
fun.
equipment.
And Martin Short, he only eats dip.
Yeah, they record in the
And you
closet.
like
And I
that.
love that he's always like, no, I got to record that. Can you say that again?
Oh, yes,
Right?
Don't, it's like when we're talking about movies, you go, wait, save it for the podcast.
We should
Yes.
actually start pushing an all dip diet.
Yeah,
Where-
that's literally what he eats on the show. It's kind of hilarious.
Just
So
carry a
eating
bag
hummus.
with you. Yeah, you just have to.
Hummus.
A lot of hummus.
So we're going to be re-ripping, if you're watching us on YouTube, we are going to change the camera angle.
Yes.
And we're
You
pretty
won't
much
see
going to
side profiles.
We are going to gut this room and make it pretty impressive.
Yeah.
I mean, it's impressive now, but
But it'll be actually
is.
nicer
There's
for
room
watching
for
TV because we'll all be on this side.
Yeah.
And we'll have
it'll
a
be
giant
different.
TV on that
Instead
side.
of looking at us
and then we
each
can
other
do
this way.
we can do like Mystery Science Theater.
Side angle.
Like let's
Yeah.
all look at the camera. Let's all look at the camera.
Hello. Hi. Now
So
we're
that's how it will look.
here. We
More
are.
like a pregame show
Yes.
where they're all in that
We're
curve.
going
Right.
for that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the way it
We'll
should
go
be.
for that.
I like that.
It doesn't
Good Morning
cost
America, NFL Today, whatever. What have you?
We may skip an episode for a week, or we may have to pull this out into my dining room or something.
Could be out in the alley doing
It'd be
this.
fun.
Maybe a Don's
Outdoor
house.
episode.
Don's house.
Oh, I'd love
There
to
you
do it at
go.
my
Yeah.
house. Yeah, there
Yeah.
you go.
All right, set something up.
Movie podcast on the road.
There you go. I love it. And anything else? We running? How much time we got left in the
A minute.
the
A
outro?
minute.
Okay.
50 seconds. You can
I
say
did my
goodbye.
part.
If you email Dave any questions, we'll give you one of our new Movie Chatter podcast stickers.
Yeah.
There you go.
So what
Got
is
some
the email?
stickers.
How do you email them?
Breyer, a movie chatter podcast at gmail.com.
There you go.
There you go.
They're awesome stickers.
You send me a
Hell yeah.
email, we'll get you a sticker. Just email me your address. There you go.
Love it.
I'm donating
Any
the book
country.
of stamps.
Any country.
There you
We
go.
have a worldwide because
Kelly's
we have a
got the
lot
stamps.
of.
I do.
We have a lot of.
I have a ton
worldwide
of forever
listeners.
stamps I'll never use.
Oh,
I've got
really?
you. I've got you on stamps.
Hmm.
Please. Hundreds. Let's get them in.
All right, cool.
Get them out there.
There you go. Say goodbye, Bill.
Goodbye, good night, over and out.
Until next time, goodbye.
See you, boys.
Later.
Long time, and then eventually something comes out.